Good afternoon. This is the first installment of Wednesday Wisdom. A very good client and friend of mine said that there's enough up here to fill an encyclopedia of real estate knowledge. So I thought I would every week have an installment regarding things that can help you as a consumer out there, regardless of whether you use us or not. So today's installment focuses on the changing market. Sellers have now lost a bit of leverage. There's not too many properties that have 10 or 12 offers on them anymore. So to focus on what buyers should be aware of, the first element is the buyer representation agreement. Now, the most significant thing that I want to discuss today in Wednesday Wisdom, our first installment, is that when you sign a contract with an agent for buyer representation, you should, in your own best interest, ensure that the contract is specific to a specific geographic location. So what do I mean? There's two things in the center of the page, which we're going to show you in a screenshot. Type of property, so is it residential, commercial, etc. Geographic location. Some agents, whether by ignorance or on purpose, will put Ontario, Toronto, York region. Well, if they put an offer on one property for you and it's unsuccessful, but the buyer representation has a vast area, if you buy a property with another agent, which is a whole other complicated matter, you're still obliged to the initial agent that you signed because of the geographic location and the buyer representation. So how do you resolve that? In this particular instance of the screenshot I'm showing you, it's a particular condo that I sold in Mississauga, and it says the address and only. So I get this contract with these people to represent them for a finite amount of time. However, it's only for that property. So if for whatever reason they decide they don't want to work with me, they're not obligated for all of Ontario, Toronto, etc. Why is that significant? If you do endeavor to get another agent to represent you and you're obliged to the first contract, it's kind of like how Jimi Hendrix was signed before he signed with, I think it was Columbia, and he owed an album because of that, because he had an initial contract. Well, you would owe the commission specified in the first buyer agency agreement to that agent because the contract is so wide geographically. So, first Wednesday wisdom for our buyers out there as the market is changing. Make sure under geographic location you have a specific address only, not a region or a city. And don't forget, for all of your buying and selling needs, contact Eric and Dario Mattei from MatteiRealty.ca.